My mother was always trying to better us, make us more like well-rounded, I guess. As I mentioned before, like I got $1 a week allowance, and she was like, "Well, you donate 25 cents to charity, you save 25 cents, and another 25 cents you could do with as you see fit." So in all reality, I got a quarter a week allowance. But I understood she wanted me to appreciate what I have and what other people might not have. I get it now, but at age 6, I was just like, well, what the hell? Then some other stuff she would routinely threaten us with. It didn't really exist, but manners camp. She's like, yeah, people that don't do that go to manners camp. She made it up. It didn't exist. I mean, cotillion counted, but she didn't send me to that because I think me and my sister would have mutinied if we'd had to wear a tie and dress up to learn how to pour tea because this wasn't the 1800s. But I don't think she really strongly considered that. But the major thing she did was she made us take piano. Because my grandmother had a piano at her house and then she sent it over to our house. And my mom waited till we could read. My sister started in the 3rd grade, and so did I. And like every kid that is forced to do something, I hated it. Because you make a kid do something, they're not going to like it. Period. End of story. That's just how it works, unfortunately. I mean, there's noted exceptions. You have to eat that entire pint of ice cream. Oh, I don't want to. But there are exceptions. But generally speaking, you make a kid do something, they're not going to really like it. And my piano teacher, she was a nice lady and she tried hard. And all that she demanded was on weeknights we practiced 15 minutes a night. And I was having none of that. I just wouldn't do it. Monday'd roll around and my mom's like, well, you need to practice. I'll do double tomorrow. And she'd be like, all right, fine. And then Tuesday'd roll around. Well, can I do triple on Wednesday? She said, yes, but you're. Because I'm amazed she was that indulgent because she could be pretty stern and tough when she wanted to be. She could have been like, well, your ass is going downstairs. Of course, she wouldn't say that because she didn't really cuss that much and didn't really have a taste for it. She was a little more prim and proper. And I never practiced enough. And looking back now, I know you're thinking like an hour and 15 minutes a week. It's not asking much because you need to practice. If you do an instrument or if you sing, you need to practice. The same as like any sport you play or anything you do. To get better, you have to practice. And I remember the girl that took with me. She's a couple years younger, but all her older sisters like took with my sister. And she always got all of her practicing done, got all of her trophies. And I saw her years later and I was like, well, you were always Little Miss Perfect. She's like, well, I hated it too. But I just did it because I was told to. I was like, oh, you're a little more obeying than I was. And because along with having time to practice, we had work to do, like learning how to read music. We had extra work to do, and that's not really what I wanted to do in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade because, like I said before, in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, we did a lot of schoolwork. Like I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I did more work in 3rd and 4th and 5th grade than all the other grades in college combined. And I'm dead serious about that. Like we had a lot of work to do. So to add on top of that, you need to practice piano 15 minutes a night. That was really interrupting my wrestling watching time. And I played baseball, and I figured, well, maybe that'll preclude me from having to go. Nope, 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 nope. You got a piano lesson, you're just going to have to be late for practice. That's all there is to it. And even in the summer, we'd have to go to a couple of lessons because honestly, I didn't practice much. And at one point, we would do like festivals, like where you go perform pieces and kind of hope, because there was a hymn festival, and then there was a solo festival. The hymn festival, you could have the music in front of you. The solo, You didn't. It was just pure memorization, which if you practiced enough, it wasn't that hard. Remember the first year I did Hymn Festival, I got excellent, which there's superior, excellent, very good, and then I don't really know about the other scores because. But I got excellent at the Hymn Festival, and then I did the solo festival, and I got superior because I put in the work and did a good job. But one thing that really came in handy was, at least for me, when it comes to like trivia and the quiz ball I ended up doing, was my piano teacher had a book that talked about the lives of famous composers, and that thing was a gold mine of like information, just learning stuff. So I read that book cover to cover because either I would go first or my sister would go first, and the other one would have to wait, and we'd usually do homework or something. But after that first solo festival, the next one, I only ended up getting very good, and I was really pushing my mother to let me quit because I didn't want to practice. I didn't want to practice. I had better things to do, which I really didn't have better things to do. Really didn't. The better things I had to do were watch TV or sit on my fat ass, so not really better things to do per se, but eventually, I think sixth grade rolled around. I was in choir. My mom finally was just like, all right, fine. Because my dad was cool with it. He was just like, all right, whatever. It's another bill we don't have to pay. Because my dad was very mercenary and pragmatic when it came to stuff. Now, my sister stuck with it. Like, she went to music camp. Years later, she quit doing the hymn and solo festivals, but she stuck with piano. And she can still play a little bit, but she didn't do it much because this is what happens to a lot of people. Like, you're really into something in high school, and then you just like stop doing it. Because I hear so many people, I haven't played softball, baseball, insert that, in years. But my mother just wanted to better us somehow because we had a neighbor or something that like he said he regretted quitting piano, and of course my mom took that as, well, y'all need to listen to him. Yeah, whatever. I mean, it's not for everybody. And looking back now, I don't think I would have volunteered to do it if my mom hadn't made me. It was not something I wanted to do. We had a piano in the house, and I just didn't care. And a couple of the girls today, like, I can't believe you didn't want to do piano lessons. I would have killed to have piano lessons. Sorry, it's just how I felt. But those are just a couple of the attempts my mother had to better us.